Autobots, transform!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of George Reviews, where I'm continuing my 1984 catalog countdown, starting with the Minibots. I have reached number 5, only one more to go from this Minibot line in 1984, and today it is Autobot Windcharger. Now, before I get started, I got to tell you this guy's origins. He came from the Micro Change toy line, where he was based on a penny racer. And this explains his misshapen body and odd proportions, as he was meant to look like a toy and not the actual car, even though he does look like the actual car. And the actual car he is based on is a 1982 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. He even has the T-tops on there, opposite side. He has giant tires. Unlike Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper, his tires are not rubber, but they're supposed to depict the same type of tires, but his are not rubber. Here's Cliff Jumper's tires, and that's kind of odd. I wonder why they didn't make them rubber. But anyway, they're hard plastic. Like I said, he came from Takara's Micro Change line. Hasbro brought the license in, put him on a blister card, and here we have it. And in between there, Hasbro licensed out the licenses in markets where they couldn't sell the toy, and we got this guy in a host of other colors. And here are some of the other colors now, but mainly in the Diaclone / Micro Change line, he was pretty much red, but around the world we got a boatload of colors, which we were denied in the United States. Okay, wait a minute. Let's check some guys off. Where did we leave off? Okay, Windcharger is number 5 on this countdown, so we have to check off Cliff Jumper. That's 4 down. Counting this one, there's only 1 to go. Hasbro's bio and tech spec for this guy, the character they intended Windcharger to be, as written by Bob Budiansky. Windcharger is the fastest Autobot over short distances. Good in situations requiring fast, decisive action. Enthusiastic but impatient. Short attention span. They pretty much lay that on all these little guys. Casts powerful magnetic fields which can attract or repel large metal objects. Smashes them at closer distances. These abilities use up tremendous energy. Often burns himself out due to carelessnesses. And here are his stats. His strength is a 4. His intelligence is a 6. His speed is a 8. His endurance is a 4. His rank is a 5. His courage is a 9. His firepower is a 7. And his skill is a 6. Pretty decent numbers. And as a kid, I really liked this figure. I liked the character. Take that back. I really liked the character after I saw him in the cartoon, and he was always running around with Brawn. And then the way he was voiced, and just overall what they did with the character. He was calm, cool, balanced. He didn't have some weird little voice going on. So the cartoon made me like this character, make me hunt down this figure. In the G1 cartoon, Windcharger was voiced by John Stevenson, who actually did a lot of voice acting alongside Frank Welker and Casey Kasem over the years. Casey Kasem voiced Cliff Jumper, Frank Welker voiced Megatron and Soundwave. And he actually appeared on a TV show, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is the same TV show that the Megatron toy is based on, which is kind of cool. You know, I guess they stayed intertwined behind the scenes and worked together over the years. Where one property went, they went, I guess. So a lot of detail on this little guy. If you look, then I always say, after 1984, when they put the rub sign on these guys, it kind of ruined the toy, because like he really needs an Autobot symbol, and then it like overlaps the line, and it's starting to peel up right here from being touched and played with. It kind of sucks. I might just stick an Autobot logo on him and just remove that. So turning him over, you can actually see pretty much his entire body. Well, you can see it's not pretty much his entire body underneath. Well, I'll get to that in just 1 second. He rolls pretty good. Would roll better if he wasn't on his little surface. And again, he was really based on a penny racer where you would pull the guy back and let him go. He had the little motor inside, but he does not have the little hatch on the back because of his transformation that the Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, the other figures that are based on penny racers, have. And let's see if we hit. In this vehicle mode, he has molded in chrome grille. You can see the molded in headlights. You can see the little vent on the hood. And I mentioned the T-tops. Side of the car, there's no molded in door handle like some of these guys. You can see the back shading vents right there. I forget what they're called. And coming around this side, same as the other side. So that is Windcharger in his vehicle mode. It's a very nice vehicle mode. Now let's get to his robot mode, which is a little bit different. Just flip his legs around, not much to these little guys. Pop his arms out from the sides of his car mode, which is now the sides of his body, and move his hands forward, arms and hands forward. And now we have Windcharger. I always thought, for some strange reason, he looked like the first version of Snake Eyes. If I gotta pick, I'll stick it on the screen. But I always thought he looked like the first version of Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. And speaking of his looks, he has one giant black visor, the mouth plate a la Optimus Prime, and the head just shaped good enough to fit under what is the hood of the car. Looks like some molded in vents right here. Autobot logo right there. It's real small. Chrome legs. Mine are wearing some molded in detail at the waist or hips. Is that the hips? Take a look at his hands. He does have a thumb and a little fist molded in right there. Actually try a little something. You can see that. And his feet as the back of the car, which he actually looks pretty good. The head is just weird. And the only reason the head is weird is because they chose to draw a totally different head on the cartoon. Let me scoot him over, show you. And they gave, like, this look is like a Japanese thing, like Ultraman and stuff like that. Their little characters. And in America, they chose to go with the humanoid look. And then a lot of people blame the toy for not looking like the cartoon, but it was reversed. They decided to, I guess the humanoid look is Americanized, and we won't go there with the blue-eye thing, but there's that. So anyway, this is him in robot mode. And G1 articulation, we're not really going anywhere. He has his hinge just going up and down. I think mine's just loose or just not out all the way. And arm will 360. His is very stiff. 360, that's what you're getting out of that. And his feet, you can do this. So I guess if you just had to, if I was going to do some stop motion, I probably can get a little bit out of there. But no, he's not standing up so good. Oh, a little bit. Just a little bit, like he's walking or running. And that is all you're going to get. But you were meant just to fight and imagine stuff. He looks very much like he belongs in the GoBot line. Really does, with that head shape. And you think over the years they could have like remolded the face to match the cartoon, but they were just like, look, we stamping this out, kids buying it, and that's it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this guy. Once I saw his character on the cartoon, I had him running around with Brawn. Like, nobody does that to my buddy. You know, he was really featured hanging out with Brawn on the cartoon. And here he is with G1 Brawn. I might as well kick off this size comparison thing. Here he is with G1 Bumblebee. And the first time we really got to know something about Windcharger, he used his magnetic gun to pull Bumblebee out of a hole from one episode. I didn't think of the name of the episode, but he saved Bumblebee from a pit with his little magnetic flashlight thing. Here he is with Soundwave, Megatron. Here he is with Hound. Here he is with Optimus Prime. And here he is with Skyfire / Jetfire. Now, my favorite episode or spotlight from Windcharger was the episode where him and Brawn were just flying in Skyfire for some reason. This hunting for Decepticons. And these guys just jump out of Skyfire onto Soundwave. And the two of these guys take on Soundwave and Megatron. And that's what really set it off for both of these characters for me. I'm like, these little Brawn is strong enough to try to go up against Megatron. And they, I think Brawn landed on Soundwave and ran them into a mountain and pretty much knocked them out. And I was like, damn, these little dudes are really tough. And the cartoon sold me on that when I saw that. But the best part is after Brawn ran Soundwave into the mountain, he turned to Megatron. I got to get Megatron out for this. And he tells Megatron, you're next. And the best thing, they didn't play with Megatron's character. Megatron was like, you must have a blowout in your logic circuits. You're
next, you airborne garbage bucket! You must have a blowout in your logic circuits. There's no way a midget like you can handle the mighty Megatron.
There's no way a midget like you can handle the might of Megatron. And Megatron shot him and blasted him against the wall. And Windcharger was like, I think he may have a point. And they transformed and got the hell out of there. But the sweet part is, Megatron transformed and Soundwave was wielding him. And Brawn was asking for some help. He was like, you better get me out of here or it's going to be over for me. And they did this little scene where Windcharger was driving and he was coming to rescue Brawn, and he did this little thing where he jumped over a cliff, and Brawn jumped onto him, and he landed inside Skyfire.
All right,
and that was so sweet. I should have maybe tried to stop motion that, but I don't even think I would know where to start. But I thought that little thing was sweet, and that sold me on Windcharger and Brawn, and I think that was my favorite G1 Windcharger moment of all. And after that, I had to have a toy, and I went out to find the toy. Now, people talk about the Autobots getting killed in a 1986 animated movie. And people talk about the outrage of Brawn's death scene and how he shouldn't have died from that blast, and Ironhide should have survived. Not from the fusion cannon, but story-wise, he should have survived. But one of the worst things we got in the movie was the non-death scene. We just see RC dragging Windcharger's corpse and laying Windcharger down. Then you notice that Wheeljack is laying next to Windcharger. And it's at this moment that you realize the creator of the Dinobots was killed, and he didn't even have a death scene. Like, his chest was all mangled. Then you see RC like had this little somber look on her face. Then Springer runs in, and then he hits the worst line of the entire movie. I got better things to do tonight than die. It's like, who the hell is this new guy? And he's shitting on our old school guys. Like, what the hell? Okay, I want to drop some buying tips for this guy on you. As far as I know, he has no complete original reissue. As far as I know, I'm trying to think real hard. I know he has the keychain reissue that came out like 16 years ago, and I remember picking it up at Media Play. I no longer have it, but it had the loop on it and like obviously the keychain hanging off of him. I'm gonna drop a picture in it right next to him. So yeah, that was the keychain reissue where he came in these colors. Now he has been reissued in the remold of this figure as Tailgate, but I can't remember. I don't think Takara has reissued this guy or anybody. So he falls into the realm of more rare, obscure guys now. One of the figures that was not coveted back in the 80s, and now he's pretty much rare. But anyway, on to the physical things you might want to look for. The wear to the little bit of silver chrome around, silver paint, not chrome, around the mouth plate. Like mine has a lot of wear. It's almost blending into the gray. I want to make sure the Autobot logo is still intact, and always chrome wear to the legs. Mine has a bit. It's not as shiny, not as bright. These little pins for the tires could get rusty over time. You can find a lot of rust on them, as well as the screws. And the rub sign / Autobot sign, like mine is peeling up. You want to look for that. Try to get a minty one, or if you don't have the rub sign, it's usually the Autobot sticker from 1984. This is obviously like an 85 release. No Walmart reissue so far. No Toys R Us reissue. Not even a Takara reissue in any of the sets that I know of for Windcharger. So I think that's all I got on Generation 1 Windcharger. And of course, I would love to hear your stories in the comments below. So please let me know, did you have this figure as a child? Did you want this guy? Did you play with him a lot? What is your G1 Windcharger toy story? Thank you for joining me for another episode of George Reviews. The reviews where every toy has a story.
Autobots, transform!